Hi everybody, my name is Ron Gallo, Human Being, also the name of the band in which I play in and sing for and write songs for, and it's the parents that my name gave me. My parents that my name gave me is the thing that I just said. Do it again? Should we just do the whole thing again? No, let's keep that one. The Toy Soldiers was the last band that I was in. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, I think at this point in my life, it's sort of an irrelevant thing for the context of what I'm doing musically now. Just feel like maybe a totally different person at this point. But it was a crucial stepping stone to learning how to tour and be in a band. And we saw some places, and you know, no one knows who the band is. But it did happen. It was like my training wheels. But yeah, we stopped playing like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. I got to a point where I just wasn't really identifying with what we were doing anymore, or even just the idea of being in a band that played a certain style of music. And I just wanted to create something that was just me being myself, like just kind of fully go into that. And so, yeah, I kind of just went off on my own and just started doing whatever it was that made sense to me at that time, and playing with whoever made sense and whatever felt right. And I don't know, it's kind of liberating to just go off and be yourself, or attempt to be yourself, or figure out what that is via music. So yeah, here I am doing it. You know, it's been like 4 years since I've been myself musically. So I don't know. It's always changing. Not really. I feel like I would have been making the same. I actually think the music I make didn't really make a lot of sense to move to Nashville to make it, but I like it for that reason. I kind of like just going to a place and not really being too concerned with fitting into any kind of scene or like what people are doing. So I like that, what do you call it? The lack of sense, I guess, in that move. I mean, because I think the shift in musical styles, quote unquote, kind of, if anything, the music I was making before made more sense in Nashville, and the music I make now probably makes more sense in Philadelphia, but I did it in reverse. That's just kind of like how I go through life. So, yeah, no real influence. It's all me. Doesn't really matter where I am, I guess. It was really freeing because that album was like a total joke process. I didn't really like take myself as like I guess playing music under my name as like a serious thing. So it was freeing in the sense where I had just kind of did whatever I didn't even really try to make a record. It was like my friend got a garage band and an interface. He's like, dude, I want to learn how to record. Like, do you want to be my guinea pig? And then I just started going over there with songs that I had, and yeah, I don't know. That's you really did your research. These are all really deep cuts. No, it's good. It's good. It's just weird to talk about it because it all feels like different people. So it's my young old former self just figuring out how to do things. I don't know, it's weird. I don't even remember. I don't know. The first time that Kim from New West saw me play a show, I had food poisoning. So I was deathly ill at the Basement East in Nashville. And somehow after that, she came to another show. And she just came out a few more times and then hit me up and said, hey, let's get breakfast. And I was like, okay, cool. And then, she sort of said, I want to talk to you about working with the label more in like a serious way or professional way, signing to New West. And I thought about it for a really, really long time. Like, I kind of made them wait on it for about 8 months while I just wanted to be 100% sure because it's a big thing. I mean, I've always done everything completely independently. So to kind of surrender any of that is, once you've always built everything on your own and done everything on your own, it's a weird step. So I thought about it for a long time. She actually said it's the longest she's had to kind of work to get someone to sign someone. So good job, Kim. Persistence. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a weird thing because the music I was making was not really like anything on their label, but it was supposed to be kind of the beginning of the new wave of New West. So, you know, it's kind of a leap of faith, I guess, but I really like the people, so I did it. And now it's cool because Nude Party, Naked Giants, Caroline Rose, like, have all kind of come on to New West, and there's sort of a, you know, cultivating something there. So that's cool, you know. I remember we finished the record, and I was sitting behind a drum set in my living room, and I just said that out loud. I just said heavy meta, and then that was the name of the record. I said it to Joe because we like had just finished up one of the last sessions recording, and yeah, you know, it's like a stupid pun on heavy metal, but it's also meta. But the record's also heavy, and there's sort of like a stupid humor to it. So it's kind of all encapsulating, made sense to sum the record up. So yeah. We met this kid. Young kid, Christian, in Columbus. We played a show up there, and he hit us up and asked if he could shoot some joke promo videos. And they turned out great. He sort of has like a really funny, like, sort of like The Office. I think that's like his shooting and editing style. Like, he likes that kind of humor. And so he sent us these promo videos and loved the way they turned out. And when Really Nice Guys came out, sort of had this idea, sort of conceptualized the documentary, like maybe have him come down, and we did 2 shows that day in Nashville, and so I figured we'd kind of create these characters and kind of treat it like Really Nice Guys as a band and make this mockumentary where some of it's true to life, but it's kind of caricatures of like the worst parts of ourselves in the context of the music business. And I just remember that the work that he had done, and he seemed like the perfect person to do it. So his dad drove him down, and we kind of, you know, hashed out like a little general idea plan, but most of it was pretty much improv. And yeah, that's one of those ones that's like very insider joke, you know, for anybody that's in a band or works in the music industry. I mean, the whole thing surrounding the guest list is like, you know. So I'm glad that you get the joke behind that, because it's a thing. It's a thing from every angle. Wanting to be on guest list, being asked to put people on guest list, and then getting on the guest list and not even staying for the show because it's all. What are we all doing? What are we doing? I don't know. I love Moth Club. 2 of probably the best shows we've ever played have both been at Moth Club. Just feels good in there. I don't know what it is. We just, hey, Jer. Seth.
Hello, Seth.
Cool. Yeah, I love that place. London's been very good to us, and I really love that venue. So, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, these are like the legendary spots. I don't really know the history of Moth Club, but I know Horseshoe has a long-running history. I actually like to take anti-political stances. No, I feel like people get distracted and consumed by politics, and I understand the role that it can play, but I also think that it's a distraction from like the 95% of other important things that no politician or other person can have any control over. You know, how you treat other people, how you go about your life, how you're contributing to just the humans that you encounter on a daily basis, on the community that you're cultivating, the food you eat, the music you listen to. Those are the most essential and vital things and contributions that you can make to the world, and the government has nothing to do with that. So my stance is to forget about you're never going to fix it. It's always going to be chaotic. It's always going to be corrupt. So what can you do? What can you control? You know, in my way of thinking, I guess it's more of a self-empowerment thing. You know, focus on what you have control over in the world always that no one can take away from you. And it's a lot of things. And I think everything is designed to distract you from the fact that you actually have a lot more power over very important things in life in the world than you're told to think that you do. So, yeah, it's all games. It's entertainment at this point. So, you know, yeah, go vote. Go at least get the lesser of the evils in quote-unquote places of power. But remember that you have to give people power. Without you, there is no power to be given. And don't forget that you need to embody the values that you want these politicians to stand for. You know, what does it matter if you go out and vote and you quote-unquote do your part if you're an asshole to people in the street, you have no compassion, if you don't give back, if you don't treat people well? You know, the whole idea of be the change. I mean, be the change. It's every moment. It's here right now. I don't know. And that's what I'm about. I'm not about any of the other stuff. You know, it's all like, yeah, it's like, you know, it's like infrastructure. I get it. But what's truly important is always available to you. So that's my thing. That's my thing. Yeah, heavy meta comes from a very frustrated, outward-looking, you know, me kind of like blaming the world and everything around me for my problems, which is actually pretty in tune with what we were just talking about. You know, it's very easy to, you know, I feel angry, I feel frustrated with humanity and the way that people are, you know, I don't like the way that my life looks, so it's easy to just kind of like, you know, it's their fault, it's this thing's fault, it's... So that's where heavy meta comes from. And Stardust Birthday Party is sort of comes from my realization that all of that is really just me. And taking that responsibility, the same that I just talked on that rant about. Yeah, it's you know, it's about taking personal responsibility for how you feel, for the world around you, and as daunting as that can be, like if you sit back and you say, every way that I feel about everything is my creation. That can be heavy, but it can also be really freeing to me, because then you're not sitting around and waiting for anyone else to fix anything. You're like, okay, this is on me now. I have to really look at myself. I have to break down whatever it is that I may think that I am, whatever it is that sort of limits me, and say, okay, you know, if you're angry or you're frustrated, that's not because someone else put those things into you. It's because you're choosing to react or feel that way based on another person's actions. And so all of that stuff, you know, that's it's really just heavy meta to Stardust Birthday Party. You know, it's the same person that's just a complete polar shift in perception. And whereas heavy meta came from that frustrated, you know, fuck the world, I'm going to blame everything for my problems, Stardust Birthday Party comes from a much more, you know, I said personal responsibility, but like a much more compassionate, constructive, loving perspective. And, you know, I think that, you know, putting that record out now feels good to me, even if it doesn't make any sense to people. You know, I don't think it's like the most straightforward album. For me, it's the best thing that I could put out now in terms of encouraging people to turn inward and like look at themselves. And it's, you know, it's like what we were talking about. It feels super chaotic in the outside world, but it's really not. It's just kind of how you're perceiving it. We've been doing an Om chant at shows, which is like my favorite moment of the show, because I don't know. Now the band is starting and we're doing an interview. That was your last question? Okay, cool. Sorry I talk a lot, but you can piece together that from you maybe into something. I don't know. No, thank you. Thank you guys.